But before we get to Manchester City, focusing on Real Madrid, self-belief is an overwhelmingly powerful thing. And this team has it in bunches. And the history of recent success of this club and this group of players in moments like this is the only thing that you can hang on to. And man, they do it better than anybody else in the world. This team, this group of players, this whole club in Champions League is something else. It's something special, something that cannot be touched. They are something special to watch in moments like this.
So many factors to break down. What do you think the turning point was in the game, Stevie?
I think there's no question that if Mendy doesn't clear that ball off the line, then they're buried, as Ali was talking about. Because that still gave them the chance. I mean, Courtois made another save after that as well.
They're both Grealish.
Yeah, both from Grealish. So they've been hanging on by a thread since the referee blew the whistle in the first leg. Let's be honest. They got completely outplayed in the first leg, somehow only come away one behind. They did nothing in the first 90 minutes of this game to suggest. They didn't even look as though they were behind the way they played. The fact that they didn't get a shot on target before 90 minutes tells you all you need to know. They didn't look as though they were in any hurry to score. I mean, it was just incredible, which is why there was people leaving the Bernabeu in the 90th minute, because they thought it was done as well. And then all of a sudden, Rodrigo, I mean, just a fantastic run, just takes the gamble, and all of a sudden, that belief just appears and sucks the life out of Manchester City.
Gab, it's a strange thing to say, but you almost wonder if City scoring was the most dangerous part of it, because then suddenly Real Madrid kicked into that remontada mode.
You would think so, except a lot of time passed between City scoring and Rodrigo equalizing in the 89th minute. There's a famous Juanito quote about how 90 minutes is an eternity at the Bernabeu. Sure, but there was no sense of urgency. And you can look at it both ways. You can say, well, they were being patient. Yeah, maybe patience, maybe lack of urgency. Then is the flip side of patience, isn't it? So it was remarkable. Certainly, for me, obviously Mendy is the turning point, but then you could also point to that, without that incredible save by Courtois off of Grealish, we're having a different conversation now. So just hats off. I don't know how to do it. It's voodoo. It's supernatural, and it's happened so many times that you really have to wonder.
So why did anyone count them out, LA? Why did anyone count them out when it was just a goal advantage for City, and we knew it was back at the Santiago Bernabeu for the second leg?
Because that 4-3 result at Manchester City was the best possible result that Real Madrid could have hoped for on the night. They were largely outplayed. Manchester City created quality chances, not half chances, quality chances consistently in that game. So logic would tell you that if indeed Real Madrid was going to open up and they had to go and win the game against Manchester City at home, that even more opportunities would be available to Manchester City and that they would be able to control the game. And while Manchester City were not all that expensive, they still created enough opportunities, and most of all, they were in full control of the pace of the game. So the reason you overlook Real Madrid, at your own peril, by the way, and this is something that we have said time and time again, overlook Real Madrid at your own peril, you tend to go down that direction because Manchester City were far superior, significantly superior to Real Madrid, more so than the one goal would suggest. And then 90 minutes happened. And over 90 minutes, you still maintain, you know what? Yeah, Manchester City is a better team than Real Madrid. But then things just turn so quickly, and it almost feels like this group of players, like Santiago Bernabeu, they are touched by forces beyond our understanding. Because there is nothing logical about how the last few minutes of that game transpire. And there is nothing logical from our experiences to suggest, yeah, Manchester City somehow are going to collapse, and Real Madrid somehow are going to turn this around. We had no evidence of it over this 90 minutes. We had evidence against Chelsea and evidence against PSG. But the difference was significant between these two clubs, and we thought that it would be enough for Manchester City, and it wasn't.
Gab?
No, I completely agree that the goal and superiority was there. And, you know, ultimately, I don't think it's any secret that Real Madrid's game plan was, we're a goal down. Let's keep it tight. Let's wait for them to make a mistake. And then if it's still 0-0 in the last 15 minutes, we throw the kitchen sink and hope for the best. And, you know, in the end, that's the nature of the sport. It's low scoring. It often doesn't make sense. It doesn't mean that you don't deserve it if you can go and pull it around while being outplayed. It's just what makes the sport different from basketball. It's a low-scoring game, and you get these situations. If Ederson reacts a little bit more quickly, if he gambles a little bit on Benzema's ball, we don't have this conversation. I'm not saying it's Ederson's fault, but there's so many little tiny things. You put the Mendy clearance, the Courtois save, all these things put together, and you get what we had here tonight.